Wow, so the third season of Harley Quinn is just so good. I was a little bit apprehensive going into this season as the first two seasons were so brilliant, but the third season absolutely continued on the upward trajectory, and it just plays with the DC universe of world and characters so well. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video, we are going to be reviewing the third season of Harley Quinn, which is the adult animated dark comedy DC superhero, or should I say anti-hero series. And it just continues the series so well. And it kind of retains all of the attributes that you really do love from a Saturday morning Batman series, but it's able to push it to brand new heights as it of course airs on HBO Max, and therefore feels really familiar whilst also feeling really new at the same time. And Harley Quinn over the last decade has just shot up in popularity, which is just absolutely incredible. And so having an animated show fully dedicated to this awesome character that you have been with now for 3 seasons long is just so good. And Kaley Cuoco just adds and brings so much to this character. And the third season picks up exactly where we left Harley and Ivy at the end of the second season. So they're on their honeymoon, flying in Wonder Woman's invisible plane. And I absolutely love the fact that they're continuing with the gag of pigeons not being able to see them, and so many pigeons die because of this invisible plane. And Harley is just trying so hard to make Poison Ivy really happy, and so takes her back to Eden, which was this glorious plant haven. But of course, Harley Quinn being Harley Quinn destroys it. And I love how this story arc actually continued across this entire season in terms of Poison Ivy's new plan is to turn the entire world, starting with Gotham City, into her Eden paradise by terraforming the entire world, which, like I said, definitely has a massive impact at the end of this season. And on that point, this really is Poison Ivy's season. I mean, she has always been a really strong supporting character across the first 2 seasons, but was a bit of a love interest for Kite Man, and just always had a bit of a harboring, bubbling romance in the background with Harley Quinn, but wasn't really front and center. But this time, you really do get to see what an absolute powerhouse, an unstoppable villain this character really is, which Lex Luthor was able to identify all the way back in season 1. And I love how this storyline also comes back full circle at the end of this season in terms of Lex Luthor wanting to have Poison Ivy leading the Legion of Doom. I mean, Lex Luthor doesn't do anything positive for anyone else, so I'm sure in season 4, when we do get to see this happening, Lex Luthor will definitely have an ace card up his sleeve. But nonetheless, I love the fact that you really do get to see what an absolute ultra powerful being Poison Ivy is. A little bit similar to Storm in the X-Men and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in terms of being an unstoppable force. And of course, this definitely is Harley Quinn's TV show, but I do love the fact that, you know, it doesn't forget the fact that Harley Quinn is popular because of the whole Batman, Juan Batman setup and world. So of course, all of those characters and storylines are in the background. And I love the fact that, you know, James Gordon, who has been a bit of a laughingstock in the first 2 seasons, is a bit of a prominent figure, at least at the start of season 3, in terms of really wanting to stop Harley and Poison Ivy so that he can increase his chances to becoming mayor and having Gotham City returning to the wider United States of America. And because of this, James Gordon was running for mayor and had Harvey Dent as his campaign manager, and also Batgirl kind of being in there as well. And Batgirl was able to quickly see that, you know, you can't trust Two-Face. And I love that they continue that gag as well. And of course, before he became Two-Face, he was actually district attorney. So the Harvey Dent side of Two-Face does want to get this position back. But after James Gordon recognizes and realizes that Harvey Dent and Two-Face are just leading him down a very dark path, he pulls out of this, which leads to Joker becoming mayor, which I just think is absolute class. And Joker also, even on a human level, doesn't forget the fact that, you know, he is an unstoppable villain and sets his eyes on another parent in school. And I absolutely love the Joker-centric episode because this character is so good. And I just love the fact that they really do still respect him, as well as all of the other Batman characters as well. And as this season only had 10 episodes in it, they were able to really ensure that every single episode really was really impactful, and there weren't any filler episodes. But even the self-contained episodes I think were really funny. So for example, the Mad Hatter episode was so interesting and really did plant the seed of Harley Quinn beginning to turn towards the heroic side. And of course, there was an award ceremony for the best couple in Gotham City, and I loved the irony of Harley Quinn wanting to try so hard to rig it to ensure that her and Poison Ivy win it. And I also love the social commentary in terms of Riddler and Clockface already doing things to ensure that they are going to win this category. So Harley Quinn is even more pressurized to ensure that she does win. But even though she wasn't there right at the end, they were going to win it, so she didn't even need to rig it. And I always felt really, really bad for Kite Man, especially at the end of season 2, as all he really wanted was just to have a successful relationship with Poison Ivy, as he literally put his heart and soul into that relationship. So I feel like it was really awkward, but also really fascinating to see what's going to happen when Kite Man is facing Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. But it was really nice to see that he has actually moved on to Golden Glider, and them two are now going to get their own spin-off, which I think is going to be so interesting. I don't know if they're big enough characters to be able to hold their own series, but you know, people could have said that about Harley Quinn, and she was able to definitely prove everyone wrong. So I'm hoping that the Kite Man spin-off is also going to be really, really good. I thought the Court of Owls episode was really, really funny, especially in terms of all of these super rich people having this massive orgy. It did remind me of the Hero Gasm episode from The Boys, and this could only really happen on a HBO Max series, which is really interesting, as apparently another thing that they were going to include in season 3 as part of Batman and Catwoman's relationship was going to be an oral scene, but actually DC decided to remove that. But yet we're happy to keep this massive orgy sequence in there. And then speaking of Batman, he is actually revealed to be the person that kidnapped Frank, as he wants to resurrect his parents, which he did do, and then inadvertently started this massive zombie apocalypse. I definitely felt like they could have made that a massive big two-parter, and it did remind me actually a lot of Marvel's Spider-Man, the brilliant, underrated animated TV series, where firstly everybody is infected with the Spider-Man gene, and also towards the end in season 3 of Maximum Venom, everybody is infected with the Venom gene. So I feel like it was borrowing a lot. But both of those storylines in Marvel Spider-Man ran across a number of episodes, whereas this one it was kind of one and done. And even though we have seen Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne dying a number of times, and this series even pokes fun at the fact that, you know, they keep retracing this iconic moment, but it is so pivotal for the Batman character. And I love the fact when Dr. Psycho just goes into people's brains, as I just feel like from a psychology point of view, those aspects are always really, really interesting. And Harley Quinn returns to being a therapist and is able to help both young Bruce Wayne and adult Bruce Wayne, and also learns of his secret identity, but due to doctor-patient confidentiality, she will keep the secret to herself, which again plants the seed further of her eventually joining the Bat family. And then speaking of which, I thought it was really cool to have the final episode being set in the glamorous red carpet premiere of this movie, where Clayface is the main lead actor undercover, but people don't believe him when he finally reveals this right at the end. And Bruce Wayne is then arrested by the Joker for all of the craziness that he caused for Gotham City nearly being terrorized and turned into Poison Ivy's zombie apocalypse, which of course Bruce Wayne did initiate. But then having Bruce Wayne in prison allows Harley Quinn to then officially join the Bat family, and I just can't wait to see this happening in season 4. Of course she does join them in the comic book, so this is really faithful to that, but I just think it's going to be so fascinating. Like we talked about earlier on, Poison Ivy just went into pure boss mode and really is now turning into the villain that we all know and love. And of course this then means that in season 4 there is going to probably be a lot of conflict between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, as now technically they are on different teams, but before that we're going to get a Valentine's Day special, which I just can't wait for next year. And season 4 just has the potential to be absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love the Bat family. Speaking of which, I love the Nightwing centric episode as well in terms of him coming back and then having difficulty actually in terms of assimilating with the Bat family, as he is so used to just being on his own, but then over time he then learned how to be a bit of a team player again. So having Harley Quinn in there with Nightwing, with Damian Wayne and with Batgirl is going to be so cool. I'm sure at the end of season 4 Batman is then going to make his grand return. I'm sure they'll kill off some other big players as well. I couldn't believe the fact that they killed off Scarecrow, Penguin and Mr. Freeze as well. I hope they don't kill off the Riddler or Joker, as those two are my favourite, most iconic Batman villains. Maybe they'll introduce the Red Hood into this world as well, and I hope that they introduce Sinestro. We have seen him being in the background in a lot of the villain sequences, especially in the Legion of Doom, but Sinestro is such a cool villain and I would love to see him being a big player in this world. And of course Ra's al Ghul, we have to see him as well, so I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in season 4. But as far as the third season goes, I absolutely loved it, and so for all of those reasons I have to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear what you thought of the third season of Harley Quinn, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise I look forward to seeing you in my next video.